Well, we're going to start again because I had tried to do this and evidently I did not press go. So just to let you know, this is my petals quilt. I've completed one row across and I'm on my second row now. And I'm using a thread that is like a light peach color. I want it to blend, but I want to see it. This pattern is going to show texture more than anything. And I was going to do it freehand, but I took my plexi clear sheet audition board, I guess I'd say, that I can put over top of this, and I can take a dry marker and practice designs what I may like. And I was thinking about a feather, but it just, with this floral fabric, it wasn't showing up, and I thought that's a lot of work for it not to show up, that it'll be more like texture. So I decided I would do more of a line design. And let's see. I'm going to let this quilt a little bit. Oh, I wanted to let you know that I do have my spoon foot on. This helps going over applique. So if you got a loose edge, it goes right on over it. This was loose. It went over it without it bending. Now, I'm not saying that it would never do that, and it seems to be going over this applique and the seams very well. Now, my middle flower here, there's more, everything's right here with the layers, but I think it'll work. So I'm going to start this and let you watch. I'm not sure if I told you, but on the first try of this recording I did, the rows will line up with each other. And how they know how to do that is I end up putting the length of the quilt in. And when I do that, it knows how many rows it needs to do to complete the quilt. So I don't want to say it interlocks, because they don't interlock together. They do go on this way, which the computer tells it, because I click out what the width is. But going up and down vertically, they're not locking to each other. They're nesting with each other. A little bit better. I do want to do a video with me free motioning. I've been wanting to, and I just haven't done it. I also want to do a video of me long arming where you couch the thread, you take yarn and you do it, and I'll do it with a design. I haven't done it yet, haven't done it before, so I don't know whether to, I have to decide, do I want to try it and then let you all see, or do I want you all to see my process of learning, which is probably good because if you want to do couching on your long arm or mid arm, you would know the process that I had gone through to do it. So that is in my bucket list. But you can see this design a little bit better. So my plans today is to work on this, work on some pillowcases, trying to set up for my tomorrow's live. But I wanted to share with you what I was doing and what I was working on. As you can see, I float the top. This, what you call floating the top, is it's not wrapped around the rail. It's loose. But I use these magnetic bars to hold it down. And what's nice about that is that as I advance the quilt, I can make sure that my batting is smooth and the top, because a lot of times if you wrap it and you have the batting is loose, always loose, but the top is rolled, you can get creases in your batting. Don't tell me why, it just can happen. So I like to float it. Now, if you want to float your quilt, you can, and you don't need the metal bars. You can just, you know, free float it. I've done that before. When I first started, I did that. So it's gonna get close to the end of this row, which is the second. It's doing 3 rows before I have to advance the quilt up. But I do have to tell it to, I have to tell it, you know, what to do, that it's time for it to advance to the next row. You'll be able to see that. Okay, it's locking in the stitch. I will take this, I will pull it. I'm grabbing the thread in my finger, coming back up here where it went out. I did my needle down one. I'm still holding on to that, but what it did is it pulled this bobbin thread up. Now I'll just make sure that this thread isn't twisted, because it looks like it. When I let go of it, there, had some extra thread on it. So anyhow, I'm going to come back over here. There's my computer screen. Just to let you know that it says to hit continue. So if I hit continue, what is in the black will quilt out. What is in the blue is what needs to be quilted out yet. And I advance the quilt to do that. Okay, I did a stitch down because I want to end up hanging on to my bobbin and my top thread. I tell it to go ahead and start. Well, it's being a stinker. Okay, there it goes. So when I begin, I pull the bobbin thread up and tie it. Take it. See how it does over this flower. I'm not going to be on too long because I know just watching the machine quilting isn't necessarily something you want to spend an hour doing, so I'm just giving you a preview of how this is done. Okay, it's going over. The thickest part. I was worried about the seams, whether or not, you know, with the seams, how it would do. And it's doing fine. I see this design here, and I think it's a thread, and it's part of the fabric design. Now that was a thread. Okay, I think this is going to turn out good. We'll be able to tell as we get more. I'm going to take you down here and show you. See the texture that it's given? That's what I want. Now I would show you how I advance the quilt, but I'm using my camera with a neck holder, and you'd be all over the place with that unless I do this stationary for that. I'd like to wait and show you what I do when it's time to advance the quilt again. Now I have a computerized system. I can do it free motion by dropping the belts. There's 1, 2, 3 belts, and that's what communicates with the computer. If I drop it, then I can do free motion and no computers involved. I started out doing free motion and I loved it, and I feel that I had honed my skills pretty good, but I was doing quilts for customers and I was getting a backlog, so I decided to go to the computerized, and that made a big difference. The difference between them is, first of all, your computerized, your stitches, your feathers, everything, your design is going to be perfect. When you're free forming it, like free motion, everything isn't perfect, but that's part of the art of it. Your feathers may not be the same, or may not be as round, or you do pebbles and the pebbles aren't as round as what you want. You do swirls and it's different, you know, but to free motion is it brings your creative juices out. I just love it. But like I said, I haven't done it for a while. I have a couple of projects that I had started on my domestic sewing machine that is not finished, that I need to get out and free motion on my sewing machine. They're little projects, that's why I'm not doing them on my Longarm. I mean, they're only like 18 by 20 or something like that, and I wouldn't be able to pin these on. If you don't have a spoon foot or you don't like using it, just use your regular foot when you're doing this. And if you're doing applique or something fusible, just watch it. And because you can always stop the machine or put your finger near there or a stiletto or something to keep the pieces from flipping up. Now when I put this on, I base the batting and the top to the backing, and I base the sides. I'll show you that. I base the sides so that I can keep it square-ish. No, I have control over it and that. We don't want to look at some of these seams. They're kind of curvy and everything. But I wasn't going for perfection in this background piecing. I would have been much more careful if I was. But sometimes, you know, we break the rules. We do what we want, which that is what makes it fun. Now, I don't know if you can see, but back here is where my thread's coming from. And then it goes along this path down to the needle. This is my frame. It's a 12-foot frame. It's a biggie. But I can do a king-size quilt on it. You know, if you're worried, just put 3 pieces of sandwich together, backing, batting, top. It doesn't even have to be finished. It can be solid fabric. It can be printed fabric. Put it on your machine. If you have a cutie, put it on your machine and play. Decide what your distance is that you can quilt. And sometimes it's good to put a piece of masking tape, especially if you're on a cutie or if you're doing have a small throat space, where you would put the masking tape where your head of your machine could not go any further. Just a second, I'll show you. I am, again, going to pull up my bobbin thread and stitch. Now, this has done its 3 rows. But I wanted to show you, see how this is? This is my, I can't go any further. So I would probably put my